Hey guys, assalamu alaikum. Hope you are all fine. So today we will discuss the second part of the arterial supply of the heart. Today we will discuss the right coronary artery of the heart. Okay, now right coronary artery of the heart. We know that right and left coronary artery of the heart arise from the aortic sinus. Aortic sinus is the anterior, just anterior part of the ascending aorta. It is a swollen part, and this aortic sinus is further divided into two parts. The one is the posterior, as you can see here, the one is the posterior and the another one is the anterior. So the right coronary arteries arise from the anterior part of the aortic sinus of the ascending aorta. Okay, so right coronary artery is smaller than the left coronary artery, and it's smaller than left coronary artery, and it arises from the anterior part of the aortic sinus of the ascending aorta. Okay, it pass forward to the right and emerge on the anterior surface of the heart between the root of the pulmonary trunk, and the right auricle, between the root of the pulmonary trunk and the right auricle, as you can see here. Okay, it run downward in the right anterior coronary circus, as you can see that this is the anterior coronary circus. It move and run downward inferiorly in this circus. Okay, now it move inferiorly and went round the inferior border to reach the diaphragmic surface of the heart. Here it runs backward and to the left in the right posterior coronary circle, to reach the posterior interventricular groove, Here, so this is this. Now we will talk about the branches from where and which point right coronary circus give a branch. You can see here that when right coronary arteries arise from the anterior part of the aortic sinus, it gives first branch to the SA node. Okay. SA node, and we say that SA node branch. 60% of the cases, SA node branch is arised from the right coronary artery. Okay, so the second branch it give is right coronary conus artery. Right conus artery is anastomos with the left conus artery, as you can see here. Now the right coronary artery move in the anterior coronary circus downward and inferiorly. Before it went around posteriorly, it give another one branch which is known as right marginal artery, as you can see here. Then it went round posteriorly and move upward in the posterior surface. It also gives another one branch which is known as posterior interventricular branch, as you can see here. This is the posterior interventricular branch. This posterior interventricular branch arises close to the crus of the heart. Crus is the point actually where the right anterior coronary artery is anastomos with the left one and terminate. This is the termination point of the right coronary artery. Posterior interventricular arteries arise close to the crust of the crust. So close to the crust is the meeting point where the two artery anastomosed. Posterior interventricular artery, from posterior interventricular artery another branch is arise which is known as AV node branch. This AV node branch supply to the AV node. Then finally right coronary artery is moved posteriorly in the posterior interventricular circus and then terminate by anastomos with the left coronary artery in the crust. So this is the small discussion related to the arterial supply of the right coronary artery. Let's quickly repeat it. Right coronary artery is arised from the anterior circus of the aortic sinus of the ascending aorta. It is just a swollen part. It move forward and downward, and it give its first branch to the SA node, then second branch to the right coronary artery, and then it move downward. Inferiorly, just before winding, it give one branch to the right marginal artery. Then it went round posteriorly, where it give branch posterior interventricular artery before the crust, and from posterior interventricular artery another branches arise, which is known as AV node branch, and then finally right coronary artery anastomose with the left circumflex artery. So this is the small discussion and the second part of the arterial supply of the heart. Hope you understand.